I've lived in Odense, Denmark's third largest city, for over 20 years now. I'm not originally from here, but from the mainland, Jutland, and for a while I thought I was going to move back. Until one day I surprised myself by realizing that I quite liked it, so I stayed. I sometimes don't think I'm very good at living in a modern city, or in any city. So when I have to go into the center of town for something, or meet up with a friend there, I like to cycle, or walk through areas with trees, or by these old houses and old streets. There's something comforting to me about their age. The city of Odense prides itself on being the birth town of the poet and story writer Hans Christian Andersen, and likes to refer to itself as Denmark's fairytale town. He was born here in 1805, probably in the yellow house that I'm leaning against in the thumbnail photo. Today it's a museum with props and some of his original manuscripts and paper cuttings. He lived there for the first 2 years of his life, then he moved to the yellow timber-framed house that you'll see later in the video, where he lived until he was 14. So I'm taking you on a little walk in the old town of Odense, and I'm continually disturbed here because there's so many tourists this time of year, also this time of year. I thought they'd be gone by now, but no way. So these, according to local legend, are the streets that Hans Christian Andersen used to walk when he must have been a toddler, because the house that he lived in a few feet from where I am right now, he was born in, but probably only lived in for about 2 years until he moved to another house. But these houses are, or at the time that he lived here, that was mainly the part of town that people tried to avoid. And today it's probably one of the most expensive areas. Danish children grow up with the fairy tales of Hans Christian Andersen, whom we refer to as H.C. Andersen, and who is probably the most famous person to come out of Denmark. This particular tune, by the way, is a German waltz called Ach du Lieber Augustin, which many Danes associate with his fairy tale called The Swineherd. I found out how famous he really is when I was in China some years ago, when I saw a restaurant in Shanghai called the Hans Christian Andersen Restaurant. This baffled me until someone told us that his most known fairy tales, such as The Ugly Duckling and The Little Mermaid, are on the Chinese school curriculum. This astounded me even more. It also explained to me why Odense and Denmark in general have been visited by an increasing number of Chinese tourists over the past 10 years, and why some of the signs relevant for tourists are in Chinese. His presence, if you will, is seen or felt all over town, from statues of him and his characters to traffic lights and the name of this park. This fairy tale castle is set up every year in a park called Eventyrhaven, which means the fairy tale garden. It's the backdrop for a play that centers around Andersen's fairy tales, and the actors are children from all over Odense. And here I'm cycling through the park on my way to show you his other childhood home. Which is this house right here. And this is where he went to school. Until 1847, the building functioned as both workhouse and school. My partner used to work in a school right behind the building, and one of his colleagues lived here, so it's all still used today. This is a plaque on the pavement, and these good-sized footprints are seen all over town and are a way of allowing people to walk in Hans Christian Andersen's footsteps. So I like to imagine that he often walked from school down this way to the stream that runs through Odense. I'll leave you now, and if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Till next time.